We've got two SUVs parked behind us, the brand new Ford Edge and our Lexus NX200T test car. We also talk about your comments about our annual top picks list next on Talking Cars. Hi everybody and welcome to Talking Cars with Consumer Reports. I'm Tom Muchler.
I'm John Lincove.
I'm Gabe Shenhauer.
Today's episode is brought to you by the product segment two-row SUVs and the powertrain 2-liter turbos.
Nice,
Went
very
Sesame
nice.
Street.
Yeah, a little Sesame Street there.
On our one side, we have the new Ford Edge.
Yes,
totally
indeed.
redesigned. What did they do, Gabe?
Well, it's based on the Ford Fusion now, which is a really good thing.
That's a big leap.
Yeah, to instill that kind of DNA that Ford has in their smaller cars, and a large car like this is really commendable. This car is impressive. I'm very upbeat about it. It rides well. It's quiet. I was surprised by the motivation of the new 2.0 turbo here. I mean, it's a twin scroll. It's a brand new engine design, and I mean that car is really impressive.
Now, we didn't, let's admit, I don't think you'd go into this expecting it to be that impressive because the previous Edge, not so hot.
Not remarkable.
No.
Kind of just the driving experience, nothing exciting, not really sporty, not quite nimble. Didn't have any of the European flavor that you would think that Ford tried to put into some of its products. Fuel efficiency-wise, nothing great, and you could only get the small engine with front-wheel drive, so anybody who wanted all-wheel drive in that version with the small 2-liter turbo, they weren't getting that EcoBoost. Inside, kind of junky, plain materials. And it was expensive for what you got as well. Really kind of premium price, and it wasn't a premium price product.
Yeah, I mean, it sold, they were selling about 100,000 of them a year. But, the thing was based on a 2003 Mazda 6 platform, basically. It was always powerful, it always looked good, but it was never...
No, it was clumsy, noisy, cheap, like John said, cheap interior. It was, I mean, this is a huge leap forward with this current one.
This is
it's not current yet, but,
Well, very well. I mean, they dated it in
Pretty soon.
2015, even though we're well into 15. It's odd model year. But no, this is a really nice car.
Really is,
Which is very impressive. The interior is extremely nice. It's quiet. The model we have is a titanium riding on 20-inch wheels. It actually rides well. And the roads around here are horrible.
They are wretched.
Yeah. Like you said, the 2-liter turbo, you can now get it with all-wheel drive. And it pulls this thing around just fine. And it's very subdued, very refined.
Very solid feeling. I mean, just the thunk of the door closing is impressive. The interior is nice, bits of chrome, nice stitches. It really feels premium. And compared to its direct competitors, Nissan Murano and Jeep Grand Cherokee, it really is a formidable competitor.
It holds its own. I wonder how much money it's going to be, because Ford gets ambitious when it comes to
They
pricing.
do pricing, yeah. Well, that makes it easy to knock money off on the hood at the at the dealer. But
We'll give you $4,000 off.
yeah, right. And you think you're getting a great deal. It looks great. Also, it has a very Lexus-like look from the outside, particularly the back is what I saw first, and it looks like it would what the RX should be almost.
Because the RX is old now.
Yeah, it's an aggressive-looking vehicle. It doesn't have some weird blocky Ford DNA. It looks like an evolutionary product.
By the way, they're showing a new RX at the New York Auto Show.
Well, good. It's about time.
Do we have it behind us? Is that what it is?
No. Behind us, we have our Lexus NX. We own two of them. The one behind us is an NX200T with the 2-liter turbo. We also have a NX300H, the hybrid.
The hybrid.
Yeah, it's, I'll be honest with you. I went into this, you look at it, and it's like Lexus is trying too hard.
Very hard.
It's, it's very go-bot, very,
A lot of lines, a lot of angles.
don't know how it's going to age, and Lexus as a brand is just, they're trying to be younger, which you got to wonder because they did so well selling, sedate, quiet, plush.
Moving Toyota owners into Lexuses.
Yeah.
And Toyota owners aren't buying their cars because they're cutting edge style-wise. They're functional, reliable, they deliver what they're promising for the most part. Lexus does that with a leather glove treatment, so to speak, a nice leather glove treatment.
That's right.
Well, be careful, but they take care of you, they coddle you, that type of thing.
You're right. But the NX grew on me, I've got to say. You drive it, it feels youthful, it feels sporty. which it's something a little different in the class. What do you think?
It's different. I mean, it's stylish. It still has benefits from the Lexus brand and Lexus reputation for reliability and customer service, and these are all great assets. And it's also a fresh thing in the class. The BMW X3, the Audi Q5, they've been out for quite a few years. I mean, they're very fashionable, still very stylish, very very nice cars. So the NX is another alternative. I would say though that it definitely feels less solid and sophisticated than X3 and Q5, but it's competitive enough. Most people are going to be happy with the size, the style, the power. The four-cylinder turbo is one of the nicest out there.
Yeah, again, this is another very well done 2-liter turbo development.
I would think that buyers in the Sun Belt are going to be fine with it. I think buyers in the Snow Belt are going to be a little disappointed with the ride quality over the roads that we have up here. I'm not a fan of how jarring it is to me. I think it's a little snug inside. The controls are a mess. Putting car seats in and stuff like that is what I'm doing with it. It's cramped. The X3 is kind of, for me, the standard. You could put the car seats in the back and an adult in between those two child seats.
There's a lot of room in an X3. Yeah.
The X3 is well executed, and it's taken a while to get there because the first one was stiff. I mean, it made this look plush. I'm just not as much a fan of this one. Ride quality up here with the roads that we have. Maybe on smoother roads it would show.
It's worth cautioning that if you expect an RX in a smaller package, then you're looking at the wrong car.
No. If you go back to your traditional idea of what Lexus is, and I cannot believe I'm going to say this, that Ford Edge is by far more Lexus-like than that NX.
Oh,
that
you're absolutely right.
has a nicer interior.
Yep.
That Edge rides better. That Edge is quieter. That Edge is probably also $5,000 or $6,000 more than that NX. Yeah. But this is not the stereotypical Lexus.
It's not
that
uncle's
Edge
Lexus.
Falls exactly like in a sweet spot between a Lexus RX and a BMW X5. I mean, it's got some sportiness in it, but it's also plush and comfortable, and it really does a lot of things very well. I am.
I'm hoping the production car lives up to all this.
I'm hoping, but it sure does one heck of a first impression.
Going back to the NX, it is far more likable with the Turbo 4. I had the hybrid, the NX300H hybrid over the weekend. Normally I'm really quite a fan of Toyota's hybrid systems. If I was to buy a Camry, I would buy a Camry hybrid. I think it is the best powertrain they offer in that car. It is not the best powertrain in the NX, by no way, shape, or form.
It's not, because, in a youthful car like that, every now and then you're going to be a little bit in a hurry, and then the CVT kind of shows its stretchy, windy character. Yeah, it's not very pleasant.
It's also not as smooth as the typical. It's odd. Transitions in and out of various modes aren't as smooth. It's loud. It's not effortless. It's also a heck of a lot of money.
$52,000.
Yeah, the one we own is I might get this. I might flip the two. I think it's a luxury package. The hybrid alone has a $4,500 price premium. And there's a little bit of difference in content, but not much. Plus, you add the difference in packages. That car behind us is $43,000, and that's a good deal. It's not real leather, but otherwise it's really ventilated seats and navigation and a power tailgate and good power. Compared to a Mercedes GLA, that thing is a steal.
Oh, sure is.
But for $52,000 for an NX300H,
that's a different picture.
You could get a nice Highlander hybrid, limited, 3 rows, and everything, bells and whistles for that price.
Yeah.
Much bigger vehicle, and, it's not the same class, but that's a lot of it. We talk about how expensive the Highlander hybrid is, that thing's tiny compared to it, for that price.
Yeah, for that money, you're talking Grand Cherokee diesels. You're talking some pretty nice stuff.
Sure. Which is a low room here, and that can tow.
And that's exactly
nobody's business.
That's their answer to the Europeans' hybrid models, the Q5 hybrid or the
Yeah, I mean,
And the diesel ones, X3 and GLK have diesels.
yeah, I mean, I don't think the Q5 hybrid's meant to be a volume car. That will be they'll sell far more of those in hybrids than.
Yep.
I think I've seen one Q5 hybrid.
Precios don't count.
Precious don't count. Oh, bummer. Moving on to questions. The last episode, we went through our annual top picks list. As one is going to expect, you come out with a list of things, people will disagree.
Sure.
That's cool. That's cool. But, some of the comments just show we're damned if we do,
Yes.
and we're damned if we don't. Here's an example from Anthony Herta. Are there any Consumer Reports videos that doesn't bash a vehicle made by General Motors? On the flip side, we have Dave Dunn, frequent commenter on YouTube. It seems as the American car companies paid to be a top pick. Really? The Buick Regal top sports sedan? Top midsize sedan, Chevy Impala? We're not going to win.
Haters gonna
We're-
hate,
we're not
troll's
even-
gonna troll.
We're not even going to try to win. It's just...
Buick Regal and Chevy Impala are top picks. So there's something here. Last time I checked, both of them are still part of GM. So
Well, he's saying GM paid us off to be on the list.
They didn't pay enough because the Corvette wasn't there, obviously, which we talk about, in stellar terms on the website.
You're jumping ahead in the questions.
Sorry. Well, I was just going for the first one. There's probably a video where we do talk in glowing terms about GM products. And
Yes, it's just GM has an array of great products and an array of old products that really aren't.
Yeah.
Well, although actually that said, one of their newest one, the Trax, is
Trax is kind of
pretty pretty dreadful. Sticking with GM. Impala better than the RLX and ES. That's a bit of a stretch. I've driven the new Impala LTZ, and yes, it's a major improvement over its predecessor, but it does not have the sophistication of the RLX or refinement of the ES. The Impala continues on as a rental queen, and no matter how much you guys praise it, Chevy has tarnished the Impala nameplate, and it will not have many retail sales. I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
well, just
the last Impala tarnished the nameplate.
let's just explain the reference here because in last episode I mentioned that we were driving the Chevy Impala while we were testing the Acura RLX.
Totally.
Yep.
And sure, I mean they're not in the same class, but we jump from one car to the next all the time, and that was a true eye opener. The Impala was so much better than the RLX. I'll repeat that just to make it.
Can you repeat that?
Yes.
Speaking in the mic a little.
It just beat it on every count.
Does the RLX do anything better?
It might have a better rear seat or maybe better rear visibility.
Rear visibility. The deck of the
And
Impala's high.
Interior materials are better.
Other than that, nothing.
But how much more is the RLX?
$20,000 more.
At least 15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The ES is fine. The ES
Yeah,
is
the
an
ES
unremarkable
is
car, and it makes a
it's-
great argument for an Avalon, which makes a great argument to go buy an Impala.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. It's like you're 7 steps away from Kevin Bacon. You're 7 steps away from a Chevy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the current ES is not as refined as it used to be. It just isn't. Again, Lexus is trying to make things sporty. And
So by sporty, they make the ride stiff and they throw some confusing controls and they think, oh, it's great now.
Everyone
Yeah.
bought the German cars 10 years ago, and that was a formula, so...
Yeah, we skipped over talking about the NX's controls. That keypad.
yeah,
that
yeah.
finger-
Oh, that's a
that thing,
disaster.
That's a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes so long to do anything. But yeah,
I finally figured out how to prevent it from jumping into navigation by default every time.
Oh.
I guess you had half an hour of extra time
Yeah.
in order to go through.
You have a
the
longer
menu.
commute.
Yes. Back to the top pick questions. Roman asked, how come the Honda Accord didn't make top pick?
Oh, that's because the Subaru Legacy beat it fair and square.
Yeah, it firmly beat it.
Yeah.
Nothing to say.
The Accord is a sportier driving car by a bit.
Yeah.
But the Legacy, it rides better, it's quieter. It has the same very accommodating back seat, same very accommodating driving position, same excellent visibility.
Better infotainment system.
Much better.
Better controls.
The Accord clearly wins on fuel economy. 3 miles per gallon better, I think, between the 4 cylinders.
Maybe.
With
Yeah.
all-wheel drive. With the extra weight,
Well, I mean, the Legacy's losing because of the extra weight, and the Legacy's slower. But the Legacy is just overall, when you add all the pluses and minuses. It's a better car.
It's a more satisfying car.
The Accord's a great car too. I'm not, we got a lot of questions about why no sports car on the list. Christopher Brown asks, what about your personal picks for best sports car? I know there's no formal category for it on Consumer Report's best picks, but it'd be cool to know. Also, TheAirplane Master asks, at the Detroit Auto Show, you guys mentioned that sports cars are making a comeback in that it's party time for car manufacturers. Why then isn't there no sports car category? Are any of them reliable?
Well, sports cars is kind of easy for us. I mean, it
is?
Yeah, there are three rungs here. I mean, first it's the Porsche 911, then it's the BMW M235i, and then it's the GTI.
I think this is easy for Gabe. Do we have a more official answer than?
We didn't have a lot tested. The category, there's some that were missing, Ford Mustang and stuff like that at the time. Reliability of new models.
Yeah, I mean,
as far as likes, Gabe is right. You know, I mean,
yeah. I mean, I would personally would be. I don't know. I'd go anywhere between a Fiesta ST or an M235i or probably a GTI.
yeah, I would do that. The M or the GTI. If Fiesta had a little more room, I just find it a little snug.
Well,
yeah, the 911 would be fantastic.
Well, if anyone's wondering why the Scion FRS and Subaru BRZ aren't there like they used to be, that's because of reliability.
They're really not reliable.
Falling apart there.
No, and that's a good point. When it comes to popularly priced sports cars, there aren't that many of them that are reliable. I think the Civic Si is like one of the few that's reliable, and we're not going to give a top pick to the Civic Si.
And even if the Minis they were brand new.
Right, and you got a lot of stuff that was brand new. The GTI is brand new. The Mustangs we haven't tested yet, and they're brand new.
Yep.
And the Miata we haven't bought yet.
Yeah, that dropped off because they stopped selling. And
exactly.
Next year there'll be one. Next year there'll be a full complement.
We're in transition.
That's right.
Well, then we're always same thing. Well, I'll leave it.
Now we get to John's point. Cow Kicker 1 asks, what happened to the Corvette? Corvette is reliable.
It is.
Corvette is a high-rated sports car.
And it's recommended.
Yeah. What happened, Gabe?
What happened? Well, I mean, it's a very specialized kind of a car. It's not really, I mean, traditionally our top pick for a sports car is something that's more affordable, more, maybe not a two-seater necessarily. So
we often
it's
go
a
for
little bit of a stretch.
We often label it fun to drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Sports car.
You know, we do a traditional top picks category of 10. You know, sometimes there's just more important vehicles too. You know, more important categories in the grand scheme.
Yeah. I mean, 10 cuts us off.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
it's not a slight on sports cars. It's not, oh, they're going back to the days of all they want is brown Camrys. It's just, that's just the way it works.
I mean,
you don't have pickup trucks either.
You buy a car like that, it's such an emotional factor there.
I don't think you need us to
You
tell
don't
you.
need us for that.
No,
I mean, you need us for that?
You really don't. I mean,
But still ask us so we could buy and test.
so
I mean, we do
exactly.
want
That is
data. on
that is
it, yeah.
You
important.
know you want a Corvette, you buy a Corvette. You know you want a Porsche, you buy a Porsche.
Also, falling among there's only 10, and we only have room for 10. Megan Toms asked, no large SUV category. Again, it's just, you know, you're running out of room.
Yeah.
I mean, functionality-wise, there isn't really much there in a large SUV that can do more than what a Toyota Highlander can do, our top pick in SUV with 3-row SUVs.
Well, I mean, if you want to have 8 people
Eight
and
people,
luggage,
it'll take
then
8
you
people. Yeah.
Have,
It's-
not comfortably. I mean, you can have a Suburban's a great. Suburban's a really nice vehicle.
It's a small category too. I mean,
It's a
Sequoia
niche-
is
it's
ancient.
Oh, that's old.
You know, Expedition
is redone, but ancient.
It's redone, still ancient, and you know, I'm not sure where it was in testing when we were doing it.
it's not
And Suburban, you know, you have 3, maybe, you know, 3 choices there. You know, I mean, and I'd say Yukon as well.
Yeah, and Suburbans, we don't have reliability on Suburban. 'Cause
Right.
It's brand new.
Right.
Also, there are a lot of questions about small cars. Where is the Mazda 3 and the Golf Mark 7? Another person asked, no Golf? Where's the Golf? I mean, the Golf does outscore the Impreza.
Oh, we wish the Golf was there, but you know, it's a 15 redesign, came out in June only, so it hasn't been out there enough for us to have solid enough reliability data on.
It's also all the money.
It's a pricey vehicle.
I mean, our Golf, I think, was 25, and you look at that in an Impreza, it gets you an Impreza with leather and eyesight and sorts of stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's stuff beyond just the equipment. I mean, that car is phenomenal.
It is a fabulous car. If
Yes.
someone said to me, you need to go buy a new car today with your money, I would go buy a Golf.
Well, here's the opposite.
Yeah.
You talk about Corvette always was like, well, for the money, it's great performance, it comes in less. Here's the car is like, no, this is worth the premium. There is a premium,
There
and
is a premium.
and expect to pay it, but it's worth paying that money. You're not paying for something you're not getting.
No,
The Golf is that good.
I was out of the office for a couple of days. I had to do a lot of driving on my own. I picked the Golf.
Versus your
Lot-
chauffeur at work.
I know. I had to leave Jeeves here.
Yeah.
No, I mean the Golf was really. It's a very grown-up, very nice car. You're definitely
Very
going to
much.
pay for it. One more thing. On the last show, we had asked you, what do you think about us buying a Tesla P85D? Overwhelmingly, the response was yes, for which we thank you. There are issues with buying P85D here. Andrew Hartley inadvertently points them out. Yes, buy the P85D. Plus, you can use the excuse you need to test an all-wheel drive version of the car. I would love to see the comparison between that and the S8 Hellcat, S-Class AMG, etc. And that's where the problem is. We typically don't test the highest performance version of a car. We're not testing Hellcats, we're not testing AMG Benzes.
Right, we concentrate on what most people buy, and especially when we get to that kind of price level, these luxury cars at $90,000, $100,000, we stay with one version. It's not a family sedan or a small SUV where we'll double up because it's such a huge category.
Market number of sales, almost equal sales volumes or similar. Yeah, I mean, and again, it almost comes out to the Corvette type of thing. If you're spending that much money for an S8, for an S-Class AMG, do you need, we're going to tell you it's got great performance and all the negatives or positives of the lesser car.
Right, it's got the same
not ours.
virtues of the regular Tesla, only more better.
Right.
And insane mode or whatever the heck that's called.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, that's, yeah.
I mean, so we thank you for your overwhelming support. When we're about to drop 120 grand on a car, it's not an easy issue. So just wanted to thank you for your support. As always, we thank you for your interest. Thank you for your comments on YouTube. And we thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.